The Veterans Healthcare System is a promise that we made to America's veterans that we will take care of them.
Whether it's allegations of VA staff covering up long wait times or cooking the books, I will not stand for it.
These recent allegations are not new issues. They are deep, system-wide problems.
Our veterans deserve the best. They've earned it. Before we start spending more money, our first job is let's take care of some basic management issues that I think can be fixed.
It's extremely disappointing that the department has repeatedly failed to address wait times for health care.
They recalled countless unanswered phone calls and ignored messages, endless wait times, mountains of bureaucratic red tape.
Any adverse incident like this makes me mad as hell.
I want somebody who's spending every minute of every day figuring out, have we called every single veteran that's waiting? Have they gotten a schedule?
It seems to be an issue that is occurring in other VA clinics.
A few minutes ago, Secretary Shinseki offered me his own resignation.
I extend an apology to the people whom I care most deeply about, as the veterans.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion's
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all to the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, we serve America and its veterans. We pledge ourselves to our veterans, our youth, a strong national defense, and Americanism. These four pillars shape our work and what we do for America. There is power in our numbers. We're the largest organization of wartime veterans in the nation. We are 2.5 million members strong, men and women from every state in the nation and around the world. No other veterans organization wields this kind of power. We work relentlessly within our four pillars of service, and we succeed. The American Legion takes care of our fellow veterans and their families. We maintain close ties with Congress and the leaders in Washington, D.C. They respect us. They listen to us. We sponsor research and press for medical care and benefits for all veterans and active duty service members, whether they are members of the American Legion or not.
President Roosevelt signs G.I. Joe's Bill of Rights.
You've heard of the GI Bill of Rights, one of the most important pieces of social legislation of the 20th century. It was written and passed largely through the efforts of the American Legion. We were instrumental in the formation of what is now the Department of Veterans Affairs to make sure our veterans get the care and benefits they are promised and deserve. The young people of our nation are our future. They benefit from exceptional programs and generous scholarships that only the American Legion offers. We provide athletic programs like American Legion Junior Shooting Sports, Legion Baseball, and educational and civics programs like the Oratorical Scholarship Contest, and Boys State and Boys Nation.
As Supreme Court Justice Hugo Black stated, the quality of justice that Americans receive should not depend upon the amount of money they have.
We promote citizenship and an appreciation of government. We have all been directly involved in our nation's defense as wartime veterans. We know what policies, tools, and manpower our military needs to protect this great country. We fight to get these things done.
We're all very grateful to have the American Legion on point.
We take our case all the way to the top in Washington, D.C. to ensure that America is prepared for any threat. We are patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. These pillars represent not just what we do, but who we are. We're here to serve our fellow veterans, their families, and all of America. We are here for them, and we are here for you. The American Legion asks you to join us in our mission. If you share our vision and commitment to America, visit our website at legion.org or your nearest American Legion post today.
couple of the gentlemen talked about how they felt like they were just treated like a number. They were treated like the problem. Why are you trying to come back and get this care? Come back 5 months from now and be grateful for it. These guys are grateful. They're not victims. They just want the VA to work.
That was Pete Hegseth exactly 1 year ago on this program, right after the VA scandal first broke, exposing long wait times, inadequate care for our veterans. But has anything really improved since then, or are we still failing our heroes?
Well, joining us now with more is CEO of Concerned Veterans for America and Fox News contributor Pete Hegseth. Good morning, and thanks for joining us, Pete.
Thanks for having me.
We saw House Speaker John Boehner just tear into the leadership of the VA this week and say little has been done since Eric Shinseki resigned. Do you agree? Do you think it's a scale of 1 to 10? How would you rate it?
Well, unfortunately, I'd have to rate it a 0 to a 0.5. There's been tiny bits of progress here and there, but I've felt like a broken record over the last year, saying many of the same things. This is still a dysfunctional, broken culture. You can't steer a ship of 340,000 employees and $160 billion. That bureaucracy doesn't move quickly. And unfortunately, 0 people, now some say 1, but by our count, 0 people have been held accountable or fired for the scandal that occurred a year ago. Wait times are no better today than they were a year ago. Veterans have a choice card, but they're not allowed to use it unless they call a gatekeeper at the VA. So there is no real accountability. There is no culture change. Without that culture change, you're not going to see an environment of customer service that veterans deserve.
Pete, can you tell us why Secretary McDonald came in? Not only is he a veteran, but he has a business background. And President Obama said, look, this is someone who's going to take a fresh look and try to shake up this government bureaucracy. Has the bureaucracy just simply won?
Yeah, I think so. We had a lot of hope that Secretary McDonald would be that kind of turnaround guy to tell hard truths. Unfortunately, since then, he's become a bit more of a VA apologist than we would want, defending the bureaucracy more than sort of ripping the scab off and saying, hey, here are all the problems. Here's how we're going to aggressively fix them and change the legacy of this department. So, we're hopeful that in some ways, some of the reforms he's trying may eventually bring about better customer service. But we haven't changed the incentive structure. We haven't changed VA competing for veterans as customers. And as a result, the culture just isn't going to change until you do that.
No, that rating you gave me earlier of a 0.5 as far as the improvements go. What is the money going to? We just mentioned $16 billion in new spending granted. What's it going to?
Well, 10 billion of it was supposed to go to a choice card program where veterans would be given choice in the private sector if they can't be seen in a timely way. Unfortunately, the VA continues to try to strip that out and spend it on other things, sort of snuffing out the choice program because bureaucrats want veterans inside the system because that justifies the dollars, it justifies more growth. A lot of that money is going to hospitals that are billions over budget and taking way too long, like Aurora in Colorado. But oftentimes we see that money going to middle management. We see it going to the middle of the budget as opposed to doctors and hospitals where it needs to go so that veterans are served more quickly.
Well, Pete Hegseth, thanks for joining us from Pittsburgh. As much as we love having you on the program, I hope next Memorial Day we're not having the same conversation. There's actually some reform.
Amen.
Good to see you.